Parker Bay is that perfect mix of being fairly close to the city and yet feeling like you're on holiday and miles away from the action. And perched above the bay is this, our Kiwi Dream renovation project. We've come a long way. In fact, from this angle it looks finished, and I'm very proud of what we've achieved. But there are still a few jobs to complete before we can rest on our laurels, and much of it is the messy business happening in here, with weapons of destruction from hire-quip being put to good use on the downstairs bathroom and laundry area. Back during the demolition, there was lots of evidence of water damage and rot. This new bathroom is going to be a true wet area, so waterproofing is paramount. A concrete sealant is applied to the new concrete floor. And then Sika pour-on floors levelling compound is added. Next, it's more waterproofing on the walls by Neuralite before the plasterers move in and make a mess of their own, in a good progressive way, of course. And why mix the concrete outside when you have a perfectly good platform to do it right here? Shaping the floor is quite a skill. Because this is going to be a wet area, all floor angles and curves need to subtly flow towards the drain. While we're on the topic of the drain, I have concerns in here about a pet hate of mine.
How are we going?
Yeah, I've just been inspecting something back here. I'm not happy with it. That drain is in the wrong spot.
Right.
Look, if I stand here and have a shower, I'm going to be over the drain every time.
Yeah, hey, we told Dean about that. As much as we'd love to shift that, under the regulations, we're not allowed to. Because it was an existing drain, we've had to keep it there. All we're allowed to do is put a new waste in there. If we start moving the plumbing around, then it's a different consenting process.
Oh, I see. So we're just kind of stuck with it.
Pretty much. But I think once you get all those lovely new tiles that you've brought in here, you'll completely forget about that.
A little tip for people at home, if you're renovating, always put the drain to the side, not in the middle of the tray. How about that laundry?
Yeah, how about that laundry?
Yeah, what's happening with it?
Okay, we've stepped up the floor over here. That's mainly because you've got a wet room, so if there's lots of water washing around here, that you've got a walk-through shower, which is very lovely. Obviously, being able to fit all this out for you, so you can put your washing machine, your dryer, and make use of your space as much as we can.
It's quite a good use of space, tucked away under the stairs like that.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, we've run a lot of services underneath the stairs as well, so the stuff coming from the kitchen and then back out through the drain.
Next room.
Yep.
Let's go and have another nag somewhere else. Mike added that something could be done in the way of resubmitting council permits and re-concrete cutting to move the drain to the tune of about $3,000. And I've decided that I'm probably okay with where the drain is after all. So far, this bathroom and laundry area has been quite the challenge, especially for Atwood plasterers, who've had their skills tested to the max. But I have to say, the end results are excellent.
Almost ready for the tilers. We're just doing a couple of finishing off bits here. Yep. It's been a bit of a major for us in a lot of ways. It was an existing building, as you know, and these walls were about 40 millimetres out of plumb. So what we've done, we've prepared the walls with a resin to break the suction, and then we've created a scratch coat which gives us a key for the top coats to go on so that the plaster holds to it and it won't go drumming. We've put about 4 layers of plaster on the bottom of the wall to straighten them up, and yeah, it's nearly there.
It can't be stressed enough that this whole area is going to be constantly wet. So waterproofing needs to be thorough every step of the way. A layer of damp fix is applied to all surfaces except the plaster. There, no moisture is getting through all of this, that's for sure. I can see the centrepiece dominating the middle of the room needs to be special. So time to go vanity unit shopping at Chester's. It's a great one-stop shop where you can look at all the bathroom wear brands, and they're handy for advice too.
So when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, Evie, about the shower, we discussed the Methven Kerry tapware and chose to go down that road.
Absolutely.
Now this vanity here has got a Methven Kerry basin mixer on it, so that's what we would choose to go with the basin.
I like it.
So, because of the lines of the Kerry, I think the Athena Cara Vanity works really well. We've got the same curve here as we have on the Kerry. You've got a high gloss cabinet on it. Comes complete with soft close drawer, so no slamming drawers. We could put a mirror cabinet above it.
Yes, very good.
You've got 2 shelves in there, so there's plenty of space.
I think that's going to work really, really well. Thanks, Nikki.
Great, and just while we're here, we've got the toilet right next to it, which is, great to show the lines. Everything is tying in really nicely together. You've got the curve of the front of that, matching the curve of that, matching the curve of that.
Originally, Pascal pitched to me his marvellous sanctum as another place of retreat in the garden. But this project just couldn't afford that, so we had to let Pascal down gently.
I really trust in your design and your vision, but with everything that's going on with the building and my budget, I can't afford it. I'm going to have to cut it from the design. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just can't afford it.
But in my absence, it seems Pascal has been quietly working on a sneaky little side project.
Evie doesn't know anything about this, but we're going to put up this sanctum. She cut it out of the budget, so I was really upset about it, and I've found a way to sneak it back in.
Oh, great.
We have to keep an eye out and make sure she doesn't turn up somehow. So it's really quick, it's like Meccano. Basically, you just grab the frame, we'll put it out here, we'll bolt it together, stand the 2 frames up, bolt it through the top, and then we'll just lay this timber up and over the top, and then we can scarp it before she arrives. That is going to look awesome.
With the tall fescue grass fully rolled out and in place, it's time for a mow and readiness for a good watering. There's no danger of running over the actual sprinklers with the mower that Water Dynamics have installed, because they're completely below the surface and invisible until they're needed. They pop up powered simply by water pressure. They can be operated manually, and yes, they can be put on a timer. But I reckon the really cool thing about this sprinkler system is that they have rain sensors. So if it's been raining, they know not to operate. That is what I call a pretty smart sprinkler system. After the break, my surprise.
How did that get there?
I know.
And later, the Kiwi Dream house at night.
What do you think?
And Mike Perro tells me what he thinks the property is now worth.
Plus or minus. I mean, I think it's going to be an emotional buy.
This is what the Kiwi Dream house looked like before we got started with this renovation project. Perched above Karaka Bay, overlooking the Hauraki Gulf, it was all about location. But the house needed some work to bring out its full potential. And here's what it looks like now. Same location, but although we've stayed within the footprint of the original structure, at a glance, you'd have to say that a few things have changed. And things are still changing inside, in particular in the downstairs bathroom where the tiling has begun. They're using large format tiles from Spazio Casa. On the floor, they're being laid as is, but on the walls, they've been grooved to give the effect of being smaller individual tiles. Also, there are 2 types of tiles being laid in here. The darker colour tiles have a matte finish rough texture to them, almost stone-like, whereas in contrast, the white tiles are glossy and reflect the light, something that's needed in this darker space. Just outside the downstairs bathroom, the new Ream hot water cylinder has been installed. It's a high-pressure cylinder necessary for the greatly increased demands from the new bathrooms and laundry appliances. And call me old-fashioned, but I kind of like that it's inside, tucked away in this cupboard. It makes it a hot water cupboard for warming clothes in, just like your mum used to have. Meanwhile, Pascal has enticed me outside to show me a big surprise. Something he says he's confident I'm going to like.
How did that get there?
I know.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
I know, we're magicians, eh?
Oh my God, I love it. But I can't afford this. Why is this in my garden?
Come and sit down and I'll tell you all about it. You see, I was gutted when you took this out.
As was I.
I know. I mean, it is my baby. You know, the beauty of natural habitats is that we're an integrated service, and a designer can control everything from start to finish, right through from design, detailing, estimating, working with the builders, and planting, and even furniture. So I sat down with the estimating department and I said, look, I really want this in here. How can we work the figures to get it in?
And you did it?
I did it.
I love it. I'm completely stoked. It's not even like garden furniture, it's like a sculpture.
That's exactly the concept.
Back to the downstairs bathroom, and with the tiling job complete, the Athena hand basin and toilet from Chester's are being installed. So too is the Methven tap and the Kiwi satin jet shower system. The laundry bench and shelving is being installed by Fife Kitchens, along with the Beko appliances. The dryer is a sensor condenser, so it shuts off automatically when the clothes are dry. And it doesn't put any moisture into the room, essential for this space. But a highlight for me in here are definitely the tiles. Dean and I briefed the fine people at Spazio Casa, and then we just let them create their magic as only they can.
This bathroom is looking superb, but I did have a bit of a surprise to see these tiles because they're much smaller than what was originally specified. I mean, they look great, but why did you change your mind?
The reason I changed my mind is I wanted to create a feature without it being too heavy on the space. There's a guy locally called the Tile Artist, and he rectifies the tiles down into different formats. He also makes pool copings and bull nosings and that sort of thing, but for this particular space I thought it was really nice to change the format, still have the grout lines going down to the floor, and just having a nice point of difference without it being too bold.
And still very individual.
Exactly.
And the colour we've chosen is perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to keep the shower space really, really user-friendly, so that's why I chose 450 by 900 white glossy tile. Very, very easy to keep clean because it's glazed. And then for the floor and the feature wall, I wanted to create a nice sense of interest by running the floor tile up the wall and then breaking up the modules. And you can also see that the grout lines match up from wall to floor, which is very, very important. And the same strip tiled as well above the basin, which I think just slapping a big 600 by 600 above the vanity would look awful.
Well, you've done so well. Thank you. You can see now that you're in the space how much it ties in with the whole project.
Yeah, it's amazing to see it for the first time. I'm kind of blown away by how it's turned out. It's really smart.
Looking back at the original bathroom, you may have wondered why you would want to change it. It was, after all, quaint and functional. But look at it now. I think you'd have to agree we did the right thing.
This bathroom laundry area really is quite remarkable. The laundry tucked away inside the cupboard isn't a new idea, but it's such a great use of space. But this is the bit about this bathroom I really love. When Dean said, let's put the vanity in the middle of the room and work everything else around it, I thought he was going a bit loopy, quite frankly, but it works so well. This wall houses the mirror, which is above the beautiful Athena vanity, but it's also the back of the shower. And look, it's a lazy homeowner's shower. There are no glass doors to clean. Love it.
After the break, Mike Hayward, our project manager, reflects on the highs and lows.
I tell you what else was really funny was the floor. Have you heard from Vegas?
Shut up.
Pascal's light show. And Mike Perro has some rather impressive news to tell me.
Plus or minus. I mean, I think it's going to be an emotional buy.